Hello, hello. Well, Isabel, I'm on live. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Where's your charger?
Don't worry about it. You're not breaking my charger. Go.
She gonna try.
Goose Brava. Hello and welcome to another episode of We Do Recover on Wellness Wednesday. I'm your host, and I'm here talking with Jessica Mohn. My history with her is I met her in church and celebrate recovery. I think that was probably the first time that I had actually seen you, and I always like telling this story, but you were getting your 7-year chip, and I was sitting there barely, a year clean and listening to you talk, and I was just like, I need that. I can't fucking wait to have that 7-year chip. I want to be like her.
That is awesome.
And now, how long have you got sober?
13 in March. 13.
13
So
years.
almost 14. Oh my god.
Good job.
I know it's crazy. The time flies though, like when you're in recovery. When you start doing the right stuff.
Right. Well, you want to tell us a little bit about your story?
So I actually so where did it start? From birth, out the womb. I pretty much I guess I grew up in dysfunction, you know? Like
Yeah.
my whole entire existence was based off of um basically my whole family used. Like my mom was really abusive, my everybody around me was that was normal. Like my normal was I was selling marijuana at like 8. So at 12 I left my house because my mom became so abusive that she ended up trying to kill me one night, and so I ended up leaving my home. So I was on the streets from the time that I was like 12 until pretty much my whole life. I mean, really. But I moved in with my dad a couple different times. He was sober. Um, and give me like 2 seconds.
Okay.
And so like as like time went on and like was my dad wasn't around. He worked on Burlington Northern. He had basically like was on the road. I think I'd see him like twice a year. And I remember for a long time, like I would hold the resentment. And like I tried to stay sober multiple times throughout my journey. I think I tried sobriety at least 6 times, um, at least. And when I finally got it, I actually ended up getting 3 third-degree sales charges that which put me into the career criminal box where I wasn't just a felon.
Yeah.
I was outside the box. The next time would have been 10-year minimum. Like with any additional charges, I would have had a minimum of 10 years. So like as time had gone on, I remember believing I was like, there's nothing that's going to like stop me this time. This is all I want. I want to be sober. I want to be changed. It was either that or I spend my entire existence in the prison system. When the last case that I had, I could have probably fought it and won, but I just got out of doing an 6-month program, but I had already been in jail for a while. So during that time, I remember wanting it and not knowing how to get it. Like wanting it so bad that like I would cry because it's like I don't want to do this. And I was sober. I was going back to the same environment. I didn't change anything. I didn't change like who I wanted to be. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in, even though I wanted it, I didn't feel ready. Like I wasn't ready. And when I went the last time, when I ended up doing 2.5 years in the Shakopee prison, 2 years, and then I did a 6-month boot camp program. And in that boot camp program, like, it taught me about self-discipline, about what you're capable of, like, what can I do? Like, I can do anything. Like, one of their guiding principles is to give 110% 100% of the time, and I lived by that. And to give empathy to people. Like, no matter where you are, it doesn't matter. To be empathetic and to understand and try to see somebody else's point of view. As time went on, I remember getting out and the fear of getting out of prison, the anxiety that came along with it, the fear of using again, the fear of not being able to become the best version of myself. When that happened, I remember that one of the treatment counselors that was at the boot camp program looked at me and was like, "You're never gonna change." And that was the exact statement that literally changed my life. I remember believing, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be that person. I will not be the one who stands there and is like, yep, I'm another statistic. Look at, I'm going back again. I remember saying, because they weren't going to let me into Itasca County. The parole agent came up to the boot camp and was like, I don't think that we're going to let you come into Itasca County. And now, mind you, when you get out of boot camp, you have 4 agents. You don't have 1, you have 4. And you go into an ISR program. And I remember looking at him and saying, well, I wish you would just give me the opportunity to show you something different. And he was like, all right, we'll try. And so I remember coming out and being so anxious that I didn't leave the chair for 3.5 hours. Literally. Sat in the chair. I didn't move. I was used to military bearing anyway, so it didn't matter. But I sat in that chair and I waited. And I didn't go to the store. I didn't do anything. And then he came to the door, same agent that met me up there, and he said, you know, I'm really going out on a limb by allowing you into this county. We were going to deny you. And I was like, man, it's not like I killed anybody. It wasn't like I harmed anybody.
Right. You know it's bad when they're kicking you out of the county.
Right. And I never even did drugs there. I was like, okay. I was like, that is crazy. So then as time went on, like, I did everything to the T. I followed all rules, all regulations of my ISR boot camp. And my intense supervised release. So during that time, I got to know my agents really well. They would come into my job. They would, hey Jess, how are you doing? Like, what's going on? Blah blah blah. You know. At the end of when I got off of ISR, because I had to be on for the whole 18 months. Like, it's an 18-month ISR boot camp program. So, and if you mess up, none of that time counts for your prison time.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like, you're like, if you don't make it, you're going back to prison with no time counting. So, and you do the rest of your sentence. There's no like, oh, let's forgive her. No. So, but at the end of my boot camp program, I remember him looking at me and saying, he said, you are an exception to the rule. And I'm grateful that I let you come into this county. And I was like, thank you. I was like, I told you when I met you, like, just give me the opportunity. And that was all it took, was somebody to just give me an opportunity to be something different. To be something that I never had the opportunity to before. Like, in the moments of addiction, like, I was in survival. Like, I believe that, like, none of us really want to be addicts. None of us want to stay in full-blown addiction. It's like living in hell. And so, and that's probably the one thing that has kept me clean. Like recognizing and realizing that even though I'm an addict, I am actually grateful for it. I'm grateful for my addiction. I'm grateful that all of the events that happened in my life to get there, as no matter if they were traumatizing or not, like they make me who I am, and they give me a perspective, especially today. So after I got off ISR, I decided that I was going to start school. Um, Going into the field of obviously I was going to try to be a chemical dependency counselor. So I went into start at ICC, Itasca Community College, and Vidovic is amazing. She helped me a lot because I didn't know what I was doing. None of my family had ever graduated. None of them even,
Excuse me.
even know, like, I don't know. I'm wondering if they know how to add. If it wasn't for like the drug world, they definitely wouldn't know. That's real. So like as time went on though, I remember getting in, and at that time they didn't allow felons to hold a DHS license, so a license as a treatment counselor. They didn't allow it, or it was a fight. You would have to go and get your background checked and go through it, and with a third-degree sales, like they consider it a terroristic crime. So during that time while I was going to school, and I had no idea, like, am I going to be able to do this? Is this something they're going to allow me to do? Well, I decided that instead of sitting down and letting them do whatever they want, I'm going to show them, like, I can do this, and I'm not going to let you tell me no. I don't care if I have to sit in your office and tell you why you're going to give me this license. And that's the kind of passion that you have to have. Like in recovery, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. I went and lobbied for felons to be able to vote for. I was a part of the Second Chance bill during that time. I helped get the We Are All Criminals art display up in Grand Rapids when it was here. I helped push the bill through for the no felony question on the job applications. I've done a lot of good things throughout my journey that were all based around like helping people in sobriety. One of the first things that I did when I got to Grand Rapids was I was so scared. I'm like, I have to go to a meeting. Like I have to connect with others because I consider people social assets. Like, what are the people that are going to support you? Who are the people that are going to stand behind you, stand by you? And there was only one meeting in Grand Rapids. So the Monday night, or yeah, it was no, it wasn't Monday night because I created Monday night. It was Tuesday nights at the First God Church. Like at that time, it was on Tuesdays, and they did the Vets Park and the First God's Church. So not hope, not dope, but yeah, maybe no, I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. It was a long time ago. And so then,
Whoa. Oh, shoot. Well, hang on a second here. See if I can get her back. Ah, I gotta stop the music. Well, that was kind of rough. Apparently, her phone died. So we can't get her back, and we're gonna have to cut the stream short, I guess. Maybe Jessica can come back next week or something like that and finish her story. But yeah. Anyway, I guess see ya next week. Sorry, guys. I didn't plan for her phone to die, so I don't know. I guess we'll be out. This is the end of Wellness Wednesday. I guess I'll play the outro for Real Housewives because it's hilarious. So you guys have a good Wednesday night.
Maybe the next step in your healing journey is to go around calling people fucking cunts. That is all for today's therapy session. I'll see you next Tuesday.